Hello and welcome to our group session calculator video. In this video, I'm going to quickly run through how to use this tool, the different things that we can change within this. So what are the levers that we can pull when we're playing around with this sheet, and how would you actually use this viably in your own business? So bear with me for a few minutes as I run through step by step how to use this. We've taken a lot of inspiration from different Clinic Mastery members, and they've given a lot of input as to what they would find most useful here. So I do hope this helps you too. Now, to begin with, I'll just run through all the different cells and the different inputs we can use. So what you'll see here is this is length in hours of the session. This is therapist admin time. So how much time does the therapist need for admin? So the notes, setup, etc. for that class. The therapy assistant, so their admin time. So if you have a therapy assistant, and not everyone is going to have one, but how does their admin time or their setup time fall into this? Then we have how many therapists are involved in the session, how many therapy assistants are involved in the session, how many clients per session are there, the therapist fee, so how much are we paying that therapist per hour, what are we paying the therapy assistant per hour? What are the fees that we're charging the client per hour? And what's the expenditure for the resources involved in creating or running this class? And if you roll over here, if you ever see a little sort of black triangle in the top right, this means there's a note on it. So you can just roll over these and go, oh, is there a note on these? And this one down here, resources. So the cost of any resources or consumables that you will use each class. And importantly, this doesn't include the once-off setup fee. So if you have to buy this piece of equipment to run the class, we wouldn't use this in a viability calculator because it's not going to compare apples with apples here. We want the actual cost of running the class once everything is already set up. You could run some different sums to go, what's the cost of creating the classes initially, and then look at that. But for this sheet here, these examples, it's everything set up already, the cost of resources within the class. And over here we have the hourly billable rate for the therapist and the therapy assistant in individual sessions. Okay, so these are the levers that we can play with here. And I'll run through an example now. If we have a class that is 2 hours long, and the admin time, let's say for the therapist is going to have 0.25. So what's that, 15 minutes admin time? A little bloody mental blank there. The therapy assistant, 30 minutes prep time, maybe either side a little bit. There's one therapist, and let's go 2 therapy assistants. And over here we have clients. Let's go, we have 8 clients in here because we have 3 people running it. If the therapist we're paying $35 per hour, and the therapy assistants we're paying $28 per hour. And we're charging the client, let's say in this example, we'll go $70 per hour. And the resources, let's say there's $5 resources per class that we go through. Then we can see up here, what does it cost us to run the class? That's $218.75. And you can see as we change these things, so let's say we add another therapist in here, the cost to run the class goes up and the profit per hour goes down. If the length, let's say the length of the class drops to 1 hour, you can see the profitability drops there too. Okay, so you can play around with all these things and see what happens and what changes. And one of the reasons, why if we change the class to 1 hour and the profitability drops, because you might be going, well, wouldn't it be similar, 1 hour, 2 hours, because it's just doubling up? It's the admin time doesn't double up. Okay, so the admin time for one session here is 0.75 in total, but for essentially 2 of the same, there's no double up on admin time. Okay, so when we have the 2 hour group session in this example, it's more profitable per hour. So I hope you can see what's happening there. Now in the revenue section over here, this is looking at, and if you click up here, you'll see what cells it's multiplying, which is clients by your fees and by the hours, so the length of the session. Okay. So if we were to increase our client fees to $90, then we can see the revenue, the profit, etc. is going to increase. So you can see as we're going through the different things that you can play with, and when you're creating your classes, These are the variables that I would be thinking through and going, well, how can we work with these variables? Because if we're able to change very small amounts in here, we can see what happens to our profit per hour and our profit per hour difference from a single session versus a group session. And one of the big reasons that we've created this is because we get a lot of questions going, well, should I run single sessions or should I run group sessions? And as a clinic, what's more viable? Should I just be doing single? Is there a mix that's going to help people? Or are group sessions better for people and at the same time it's better for business? So I think it's understanding everything and how that plays into it. And most likely for most businesses, it's going to be a bit of a mix. So you can see the profit per class as we come down here. In this example, which is bloody profitable class, isn't it? What's the $896.25? I don't actually run too many classes in my clinic, so I don't know the actual numbers that you might be plugging in here, but I hope you can see the process that we're going through. I mean, 8 clients per class is probably a little bit extreme. It might be 4 clients. In this example, if we drop down to 4 clients, and this is something I did want to show you, we actually have a negative difference, which means that you're better off running from a pure business perspective, you're better off running individual sessions than classes. However, from working with many clinics in this space now, I'm starting to understand more and more, especially within the NDIS and working within PEDS, that a large aspect of the group class is the social aspect and improving the social atmosphere, the social communication, and building those relationships and teaching them those skills. So it's not just going to be what's more profitable, but it's understanding where does this fit within your business model. And from this data, helping you to make great business decisions to help make sure that your business is helping a lot of people by staying profitable in the long run. Once we've looked at profit per class, we go down to profit per hour. And what you'll see here is it's not just this divided by 2 because it was a 2-hour class. If you have a look at this, it's looking at all the time involved. So this isn't just a 2-hour class essentially, it's 2.75 hours or 2 3/4 hours of your team that are working towards that. And so that's what you're billing for during that time. And what we want to compare this to is comparing it to, if you hit enter here, their hourly billable rate for their individual sessions, which helps you to understand, all right, in each of these scenarios, which is better from a pure business perspective. Because when we come over to this side and we look at this cell, which is our total profit per hour for our individual sessions, and we compare it to our profit per hour for our group sessions, you can see here the difference is negative $59.73. So like I said, in this example, it's more profitable to run individual sessions than group sessions. However, if we scroll back and went to 8 people in this class, we can see it's now more profitable per hour to run the group sessions. So when you're going through this, you might go, all right, well, to make sure that our group sessions are at least as profitable, if not more profitable than our individual sessions, what do we need to do? How long do they need to be? How long should the admin time or the setup time be for each of these? How many therapists, how many therapy assistants, how many clients do we need in each of them? What should we be paying people? What should we be charging people? And what do we need to keep our resource cost at or below? So please have a play with this sheet. I hope this one helps when you're coming to creating these group sessions. And really the main thing here to understand is that there's a lot of different levers we can play with to look at the profitability of our group sessions. It's really about showing you the data so that you can make the best possible decisions for your team, for your clients, and for your business. I hope you found this one useful. Leave a comment below and we'll try and get back to you as soon as possible.